Today we're going to talk about something that we've talked about a lot with, or I've talked about a lot with various people in my daily Jam Chat Q&As for JamPlay.com. And one thing that people say is, well, you're doing the thing John Mayer does, you know, which is true. That's a very, John Mayer is known for his, a lot of guys call it finger funk, finger style, kind of whatever. You're basically using your entire hand as a percussive instrument that has multi-purpose percussive instrument. Big words, watch out. What this really is it's chord comping. I learned it and I kind of got into it by my friend Carter Arrington, and he's very amazing at it. He can slap and stuff too. I'm just sort of a dabbler, of course, as we all know. So I dabble in this a little bit. I do enjoy keeping rhythm by having a backbeat, you know. So the backbeat meaning, you know, that the percussive thing. So it's really cool because if you're jamming with somebody, especially if it's another guitar player, you know, and there's no percussion or drums or a way to keep time, it's very useful because the backbeat kind of shows both musicians or all the musicians where to lock in, you know. And once you lock into that backbeat, you're going to have a collective feel, is what I call it. When you all have the same feel, and you like look down at your foot and you're both tapping at the exact same time, keeping the same tempo, you know. So we're going to get into the basic concepts right now of what exactly I'm doing and try to just kind of, you know, get to the punchline here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just take an A minor chord. Imagine that, right? A minor. We're going to take an A minor 7, and we're going to talk about sort of how we do this and what fingers, who, what, where, when, why when it comes to playing with no pick and just your hands. So the first thing we're going to say is, what I'm doing is I'm sort of hanging my hand over like a claw here, okay? And I'm playing kind of right in between the pickups, sort of, you know, a little closer to the bridge pickup here. And then we're going to, you know, we're going to take these 3 fingers. I rarely use my pinky, you know, it's usually just these 3 fingers. And we're going to take that and we're going to have our D, G, and B string. Even when it's the E, you know, we're rarely going to have all 4 fingers plucking the strings. But when I say plucking, we're basically going... We're pulling out. We're pulling away from the strings. And it's kind of like a claw method. So what we're going to do next is we're going to say, all right, we have our thumb free. Our thumb is going to really kind of play the wound strings as bass notes. Think about the thumb. It's almost just like classical style, you know, or it's even like, you know, kind of like Chet Atkins style. Basically, the A, most of your bass notes are going to be kind of the same way you're kind of pulling out with your 3 fingers. You're going to kind of pop down and pull out as well with your thumb. So this will be the first exercise. Okay, and notice at the very end there, I hit the bass note and the triad at the same time. Okay, not very musical, kind of sounds ridiculous, very Pee Wee Herman-esque, but you know, it'll kind of work that out and show you what you need to work on to develop muscle, because this is it may feel a little weird to you at first. Okay, so that's the first exercise, and let's add all the other elements in, which is going to be the percussive element. So you have a thumb for the bass line, you have 3 fingers for the triad or the upper part of the harmony, and then you finally kind of have this slapping thing like this. You're kind of tapping as a percussive instrument, and you're also kind of muting the strings to kind of stop the chord. So that's going to create space, because as we all should know, the definition of rhythm is space, you know. With that being said, let's try to do another example here. That's it. You're going to go thumb, triad, slap, all together. One thing I like to do is do a tap and then release your fingers here to mute the strings, but kind of tap the strings and then pull out. Kind of have that sort of thing going on. So this is the final example for copying chords with no pick. This is just something that you want to use your hands for, and your hands are capable of a lot, actually. There's a lot of different tonalities you can pull out of your hand, you know. So hopefully you guys get something out of this. I think that if you like stuff like John Mayer, and if you're a big jazz guy, this is really you're gonna really benefit from this, because you can comp chords, and it's got just it's a lot different from the sharpness of picking, you know. And so here's the last example. It's going to be just a regular 12-bar blues in the key of A. So we have A13, and then we have the 4 is going to be D9, and then the 5, let's just go ahead and do a regular old, just do a E9, you know, so nice and simple. Here we go.